Explaining Gordon is a difficult one. He's a patriot, and that's the way that I run with the character. This patriot does some seriously heinous things at times, but he does it for the good of the country. And you know, Dean kind of put it this way: he's Oliver North, and he'll do whatever it takes to get the job done for the United States of America. And that's the way that I played it. Instead of playing it maniacally or really evil, he's just got a job to do, and that job has to kill lots of people, innocent or not. And it's a very fine line to play without making him a twisted villain or making him a guy that's just doing his job. And I think we got it right. I think it was you know, Dean's direction was fantastic in it. And you know, to work with Bruce and to work with Anthony Hopkins and to work with everyone else, those are my big scenes. It was such a joy to really play with these guys and for Dean to allow us to play. And by doing so, it's made Red 2 a really interesting film to be part of, and I think it's going to be a great film to watch. Early on, Dean decided to play my character much more with a dramatic flair than a comic flair. And it happened with my first scene with Anthony Hopkins, where it could have gone either way. And instead, the two of us really dug in and made a dramatic meal out of this one scene. And by doing so, all the scenes thereafter for Gordon would pull the comedy out of him a little bit, although still being entertaining. You know, it's that type of film. You have to be entertaining, but a little more to the dramatic side than to the comic side. And then later on, when I had my first scene with Bruce, when I'm interrogating him, it was written as kind of a cheeky, I've got you kind of thing, into here's what I'm going to do to you and your family if you don't give me the information I need right now. And it became this really kind of scary, dramatic scene. And I've really enjoyed playing Gordon. You know, at first I thought, hey, finally I'm going to do a comedy. But we flipped it and went to much more of a dramatic character in the confines of being somewhat entertaining also. And by doing so, I think we made a really cool character in the film. The movie basically, you know, obviously takes off, you know, after the last one. New characters are added into the film. Some characters are subtracted that we all know about. This one, it seems that, you know, the writers really took what was Red and put it on steroids for Red 2. The action's massive. The tongue-in-cheek is obviously still in there. And to add new characters, you know, like Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is just perfect in this. Anthony Hopkins, who's just been a joy to work with, and myself, it's a slightly different film from the first one. It just seems, yeah, just bigger and stronger and funnier and more action and more dramatic at the same time. Everyone is in this one scene we're about to shoot. And when you have all those actors in one room trying to get this big scene on one day, and it's the only time in the whole film everyone's in this one scene. And Dean just sat down with his book and said, okay guys, here's what the scene's about. And Neal, here's what your character does. And, you know, Catherine, here's what your, Bruce, here's what your, and all of a sudden there's a conversation with all the actors saying, hey, how do you feel about this? Great. How do you feel about this? Great. How do you feel about this? Hour and a half later, like, great. So here's what the scene is now. Let's put it on our feet. Let's try it. Let's see how it works. Let's invite the crew in and work it through. And you can just feel the crew go, wow, that's a pretty great scene. Wow, that's awesome. And that's how Dean works. He wants to make sure everyone's comfortable and everyone knows exactly what they're doing. And by doing so, again, it makes for a great film. And my hat's off to Dean for pulling off this one.